Korean honorifics source, howtostudykorean.com. Below is a list of vocabularies to be used in this lesson. Nouns.
신발 쇼 난방 셔츠 질문 퀘스천 문제
Question, problem.
나이 에이지 화장실
Bathroom, restroom.
부장님 보스 분위기
The atmosphere of something.
차 티 바지 팬투스 교실 클래스룸 급식
Food at school.
교감 선생님
Vice principal.
교장 선생님 프린시플 근로수도
Capital city.
병 바틀 병
Disease, sickness.
생선 피시 야채 베저터블 언덕 힐 선물 프레선트 기타 기타 종이 페이퍼 우유 밀크 손목 리스트 시계
Clock watch.
손목 시계 리스트 와치 영화 무비 버브즈 노력하다
To try.
앉다
To sit.
만지다
To touch.
자다
To sleep.
보다
To see.
기다리다
To wait.
청소하다
To clean.
약속하다
To promise.
듣다
To hear.
들어보다
To listen.
그만하다
To stop.
운동하다
To exercise. Adjectives.
놀라다
To be surprised.
빠르다
To be fast.
느리다
To be slow.
착하다
To be nice. Adverbs and other words.
곧 순 항상 always 주 weak 아래 bottom
Conjugating with honorifics. In Lesson 5, you learned how to conjugate verbs and adjectives into the past, present and future forms. You also learned that those conjugations are hardly ever used in speech and are most often used when writing a book, test, article or diary. In this lesson, you will learn the basic word conjugations that are more commonly used in speech. What are honorifics in Korean? To this point, you haven't learned anything about honorifics, from this website, at least. In Korean, depending on who you are speaking to, you must use different conjugations of the same word. The different conjugations imply respect and politeness to the person you are speaking to. Depending on that person's age and/or seniority in relation to yours, you must speak differently to that person. The reason this is so hard for English speakers to understand is that we have nothing like this in English. We can make some sentences sound polite by adding please and thank you, but you can only use those words in a limited amount of sentences. For example, if somebody asked you where did you go yesterday, you could respond, I went to school yesterday, in English, regardless of whether you were speaking to your girlfriend's grandfather or your best friend. That sentence would look and sound exactly the same. In Korean, you must use a higher respect form when speaking to somebody older or higher in position, unless you are literally just starting to learn Korean, in which case, some Korean people would let it pass. You must always do this. I can share a really funny experience that happened to me. I started learning Korean a few months before I moved to Korea. I was not studying very hard or often, so my Korean was extremely basic. When I arrived at the airport in Seoul, was driven directly to my school and introduced to my principal immediately. My principal said, I am happy you are working at my school, to which I replied,
나도.
The lower respect form of saying me too. Instead of being impressed that I at least knew some words in Korean, the look on his face was as if somebody had just kidnapped his daughter. Never underestimate the importance of honorific endings in Korean. Keep in mind that all these conjugations with different honorific endings have exactly the same meaning. You will learn how to conjugate using honorifics in the following ways. Informal low respect used when talking to your friends, people you are close with, people younger than you and your family. Informal high respect. This can be used in most situations, even informal situations despite the name being informal. This is usually the way most people speak when they are trying to show respect to the person they are talking to. Formal high respect. This is a very high respect form that is used when addressing people who deserve a lot of respect from you. It is hard to describe perfectly, but honestly, the difference between informal high respect and formal high respect is not very big. As long as you speak in either of these two ways, you will not offend anyone. The names of each form of speech might be different in every source, but I have chosen the words above to describe each form. In addition, you learned the plain form in the previous lesson. Before you start, remember the rule you learned in Lesson 5. When adding something to a word stem, if the last vowel in the stem is
아,
or,
오,
you must add
아,
plus whatever you are adding. If the last vowel is anything other than
아,
or,
오,
you must add
어,
plus whatever you are adding. If the syllable of the stem is
하,
you add,
하여,
which can be shortened to.
해,
Also, in the previous lesson, you learned that if a stem of a word ends in a vowel,
악었다,
gets merged to the actual stem itself when conjugating into the past tense. In this lesson, two of the conjugations you will learn will require the addition of
아어,
when adding
아어,
to the stem of a word. The same rule applies from previous lesson, that is, if
아어,
gets added to a stem that ends in a vowel,
아어,
will be merged to the stem itself. For example,
가다 플러스 나어 가가 플러스 아오다 플러스 나 어와 오 플러스 아 배우다 플러스 나어 배워 배우 플러스 얻기다 플러스 나 얻겼기 플러스 어 나서다 플러스 나어 나서 나서 플러스 어켜다 플러스 나 어켜켜 플러스 어 하다 플러스 나어 해하 플러스 여.
conversely, if a stem ends in a consonant,
아어
is attached to the stem, but not merged to it. For example,
먹다 플러스 나어 먹어 먹 플러스 어 앉다 플러스 나 어 앉아 앉 플러스 아.
there are many situations when you will have to add
아어
or other vowels and consonants to stems. Conjugating is just one of these situations. Always keep this rule in mind, as you will see it throughout this lesson, and throughout your studies. Verbs.
Present tense.
You learned in Lesson 5 how to conjugate verbs to the present tense by adding
는다
to the stem of the word. To review,
먹다
to eat, not conjugated.
나는 먹는다
I eat, conjugated, present tense.
배우다
To learn, not conjugated.
나는 배운다
I learn, conjugated, present tense. There are three more conjugations in the present tense that you should know. 1. Informal low respect. All you need to do is add
어하여
to the stem of the verb.
나는 항상 저녁에 음식을 먹어
I always eat food in the evening.
먹 플러스 어 나는 나의 선생님을 항상 봐
I always see my teacher.
보 플러스 아 나는 항상 아침에 운동해
I always exercise in the morning.
운동하 플러스 여
In Lesson 1, you were introduced to the function of
에
as a particle which identifies a location or a time in which something occurs in a sentence. Since then, you have seen many cases of
에
being used to indicate a place, but you have yet to see any examples of it being used to indicate a time. This is just a quick reminder that
에
is, in addition to other things, attached to the part of sentence to indicate a time. Also notice in the examples above that
항상
always is placed in two different places within a sentence. Adverbs are usually able to be placed wherever the speaker desires. The usage and placement of adverbs is discussed in Lesson 8. 2. Informal high respect. This is done the exact same way as informal low respect, but you also add
요
to the end of the word. Adding
요
to the end of anything in Korean makes it more respectful.
저는 항상 저녁에 음식을 먹어요
I always eat food in the evening.
먹 플러스 어요 저는 저의 선생님을 항상 봐요
I always see my teacher.
보 플러스 아요 저는 항상 아침에 운동해요
I always exercise in the morning.
운동하 플러스 여요 3
Formal high respect. This is done very similar to the conjugation you learned in Lesson 5, that is, adding
는다
to the stem of the word. To conjugate using the formal high respect honorific ending, you add
니다 습니다
to the end of the word stem. If the word stem ends in a vowel, you add
뷰
to the last syllable n.
니다
Follows. If the word stem ends in a consonant, you add
습니다
to the word stem.
저는 항상 저녁에 음식을 먹습니다
I always eat food in the evening.
플러스 습니다. 저는 저의 선생님을 항상 봅니다.
I always see my teacher.
플러스입니다. 저는 항상 아침에 운동합니다.
I always exercise in the morning.
운동하 플러스입니다.
Past tense. You learned in lesson 5 how to conjugate verbs to the past tense by adding
얻다 왔다 였다.
to the stem of the word. To review.
먹다.
To eat. Not conjugated.
나는 먹었다.
I ate. Conjugated. Past tense.
배우다.
To learn. Not conjugated.
나는 배웠다.
I learned. Conjugated. Past tense. The three new conjugations should be very simple for you now. 1. Informal low respect instead of adding
얻다 왔다 였다.
to a stem. Remove.
다.
And add. After.
역. 나는 먹었어.
I ate.
플러스 어서 나는 들어봤어.
I listened.
들어보 플러스 어서 나는 운동했어.
I exercised.
운동하 플러스 였어 이.
Informal high respect just add
요.
to the end of the informal low respect conjugations.
저는 먹었어요.
I ate.
플러스 어서요 저는 들어봤어요.
I listened.
들어보 플러스 어서요 저는 운동했어요.
I exercised.
운동하 플러스 였어요 3.
Formal high respect after adding
역.
instead of adding
다.
add.
습니다. 저는 먹었습니다.
I ate.
플러스 었습니다. 저는 들어봤습니다.
I listened.
들어보 플러스 었습니다. 저는 운동했습니다.
I exercised.
운동하 플러스 였습니다.
Future tense.
You learned in lesson 5 how to conjugate verbs to the future tense by adding
겠다 to.
the stem of the word. To review.
먹다.
To eat. Not conjugated.
나는 먹겠다.
I will eat. Conjugated. Future tense.
배우다.
To learn. Not conjugated.
나는 배우겠다.
I will learn. Conjugated. Future tense. The three new conjugations should be very simple for you now. 1. Informal low respect instead of adding
겠다.
to a word stem. Remove.
다.
And add. After.
겠. 나는 먹겠어.
I will eat.
플러스 겠어 나는 배우겠어.
I will learn.
배우 플러스 겠어. 이.
Informal high respect just add
요.
to the end of the informal low respect conjugations.
저는 먹겠어요.
I will eat.
플러스 겠어요 저는 배우겠어요.
I will learn.
배우 플러스 겠어요. 3.
Formal high respect after
겠.
instead of adding
다.
add.
습니다. 저는 먹겠습니다.
I will eat.
플러스 겠습니다. 저는 배우겠습니다.
I will learn.
배우 플러스 겠습니다.
Let's try looking at all the verb conjugations you know together in one table. This table will include the conjugation you learned in lesson 5, often called formal low respect, plain form, or diary form.
먹다.
Past, present, future, informal low.
먹었어 먹겠어.
Informal high.
먹었어요 먹어요 먹겠어요.
Plain form.
먹었다 먹는다 먹겠다.
Formal high.
먹었습니다 먹습니다 먹겠습니다. 자다.
Past, present, future, informal low.
잤어 자겠어.
Informal high.
잤어요 자요 자겠어요.
Plain form.
잤다 잔다 자겠다.
Formal high.
잤습니다 잡니다 자겠습니다. 이해하다.
Past, present, future, informal low.
이해했어 이해하겠어.
Informal high.
이해했어요 이해해요 이해하겠어요.
Plain form.
이해했다 이해한다 이해하겠다.
Formal high.
이해했습니다 이해합니다 이해하겠습니다. 어젝티브즈.
Thankfully, adjectives are conjugated the exact same way as verbs are when doing to with these three honorific endings. The major difference in conjugating adjectives and verbs is when conjugating in the most basic form, which we did in lesson 5, to conjugate adjectives with informal low respect, informal high respect and formal high respect, follow the same rules as verbs.
비싸다.
Past, present, future, informal low.
비쌌어 비싸겠어.
Informal high.
비쌌어요 비싸요 비싸겠어요.
Plain form.
비쌌다 비사다 비사겠다.
Formal high.
비쌌습니다 비쌉니다 비사겠습니다. 길다.
Past, present, future, informal low.
길었어 길어 길겠어.
Informal high.
길었어요 길어요 길겠어요.
Plain form.
길었다 길다 길겠다.
Formal high.
길었습니다 깁니다 길겠습니다.
Irregular conjugation. You will learn about irregulars in the next lesson.
착하다.
Past, present, future, informal low.
착했어 착해 착하겠어.
Informal high.
착했어요 착해요 착하겠어요.
Plain form.
착했다 착하다 착하겠다.
Formal high.
착했습니다 착합니다 착하겠습니다.
That's it for this lesson. You are progressing really well in Korean. There are a few irregulars that you need to learn before anything else, so we will cover that in our next lesson. For more info, please visit howtostudykorean.com.